Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Speedy Return. Its 2-week mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, ChaosWulff here, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. As you can see, I am still out, still exploring the void, and it's been an interesting week so far. I've gone through quite a good number of systems. Some of them I have had the privilege of being the first to discover. Unlike this system itself, which was scanned previously, but we are actually inside the Lagoon Nebula now. So it is a lot less likely that I'm going to be finding systems that are actually unexplored within the nebula, because if you're an explorer, one of the first things you're going to be doing is thinking, oh, that nebula looks nice, let's go over that way. And naturally, because I have chosen very later on in the game for my first exploration trip, I'll be fighting to try and get my name on a star inside a nebula. It's very unlikely to happen now. But there are still many sights to see. Even if I'm not going to be the first one to actually discover them myself, which is not the biggest of issues. And here we have something else that I've actually found recently, is actually being able to filter the map by the type of star. I didn't know about this until recently. Thankfully one of you guys actually told me this, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this the last episode of my exploration highlights. And I've got to say, it's actually making exploration a damn sight easier. Because whereas before it was always a pot luck as to whether or not I would be dropping out at a star that was scoopable or not. But now I actually have that information as I am planning my routes, which is so much more convenient. And let's have a look here. Yeah, this system, it has been scanned previously, but all we found was one really big Class B star, but it's really nice as well. So basically, we're just treating this as a refueling stop in the middle of space. It's always nice to find just single little stars that you can refuel off. Anyway, what we're doing at the moment is I am pretty much just flying around, having a look around inside the nebula. Just checking out the systems. If they've been scanned, I'm not hanging around too long. I'll maybe scan the main star and then move on. If I find anything else that is that looks interesting, like maybe a water world, or maybe even an Earth-like world, or possibly even terraformable metal-rich, high metal content worlds, I will go over and scan those. But it all depends on whether or not it just pricks my interest or not. But I'm switching it over to the normal view there, so that we can actually see the different types of stars that are available. Because you might be able to see whether or not they are single or double star systems. And this one is, again, just a single star. It looks like it may be an A or a B class star. Not quite sure. We'll find out in a moment, as soon as the scanner finishes its job. And with the Discovery scan, I've just found 15 more more astronomical objects. And wouldn't you know it, the vast majority of those 15 astronomical objects are all T-Tauri stars. So this is just a system of nothing but 2 scoopable stars and everything else being completely unscoopable. But this again has been spotted before by somebody else, so we'll basically just refuel and move on. Fuel scoop disengaged. But first of all, before we do, what we're going to do is we're going to go have a look at one of these T-Towery stars. Now, the first things I noticed about this is that it seems to shine so much brighter than a lot of the other stars that I come across. Now, I have come across orange T-Towery stars before. I don't know exactly what it is that makes defines a T-Towery star. I know they are completely unscoopable, but I'm wondering what makes it so that they are unscoopable. Because I've been wondering about that for a while, so I guess it's something I'm going to have to read up on. But we're just going to scan this one last thing, perhaps. And what is it? I have a feeling it's going to be... oh, it's another T-Towery star. Alrighty. Well, let's have a closer look at this star. Now you can see, as you can see, it actually does look a lot brighter than any of the other stars that I've really seen. It is more white than anything else, and I don't mean white as in the silvery colour that you see on like A-class stars. No, this is like almost pure white. You can obviously see the blue accent in there, but this is just so bright. You can even see the I think what I call God rays coming off from the star itself. But that system was just absolute chock-a-block full of stars. Now, we have found other ones that are fairly interesting. I mean, the other night we were online at the same time as another YouTuber here called Obsidian Ant. He's actually started doing live streaming himself, and I don't know his schedule as yet, but what he's doing is he is actually live streaming. It's been for the last 2 nights when I'm recording this. But what he is actually streaming is he's actually streaming exploration, and we actually met up in the Lagoon Nebula last night, for me at least anyway, and just had a nice little time just looking around in system. Now, if you haven't done so, I would recommend going along and checking out his Twitch channel. Now, what I will do is I will link both his channel and his Twitch channel in the video description. And what I recommend is to go and check him out, see what you think. Ah, look at that. We've just found a rocky ice planet. And it just goes to show that my sense of direction is absolutely amazing, because I was actually aiming for the little brown world there. It just goes to show that my ability to read a map is absolutely horrendously bad. But anyway, I don't know if you saw that there, but we can actually see from here the nebula from this side. There you go, you can see it again, and just look how vivid it is. I mean, that's not even how vivid it can get in this nebula. Now, what I am thinking of doing is spending until a little bit later today, perhaps, inside the Lagoon Nebula, before I head off to either the Cat's Paw Nebula or the Omega Nebula. I'm thinking the Omega Nebula, because I think, if I'm right... No, sorry, not the Omega Nebula. It's either the Omega or the Trifid Nebula, I can't remember. I'll double check it later. But I'm going to head off to one of the other nebulas and have a quick look in there before heading back towards civilized space, and hopefully being able to catch the end of the Independence exploration data community goal. I mean, if it comes to it that I'm not going to get back in time, then fair enough. But anyway, let's have a quick look at this little world here. What we got? little high metal content planet. So that's not too bad. Getting my name on that one isn't too bad. But yeah, no, there are certainly many more systems inside this nebula than I originally thought there were. I mean, originally I thought there was about 10 to 15, but naturally that was just my natural gift for understatement there. But now I've basically given up trying to look for inhabitable worlds. But what I'm actually going to do is just turn on all the star types so I can see all of them. And we're just going to go have a look around inside this system and see if we can find anything interesting, anything that's pretty much interesting looking. But where we go now? I think we'll have a look at this one. Now, what kind of star would you expect? Would you think that is? Through experience of exploring, I would guess that to be a M-class red dwarf, just from the colour that it is. And I'm surprised that it's called a red dwarf, considering that it is actually more orange than red. And yeah, it is. And that was me actually taking a proper guess at the moment. I wasn't just watching the video and then going back and recording the audio. Okay, maybe perhaps I was. But now I'm doing one of the tricks that I learned from Obsidian Ant, and what that is to fly away from the plane of orbit, so you can actually, it's almost like getting altitude, kind of relatively speaking, on the situation in the system, so that you can actually go around, see all the orbital lines individually, so that you can then work out which planet is which, and then move towards that specific planet. So if you look on the galaxy map, the system map even, you see that the fourth planet away from the star looks very interesting. Maybe it's an Earth-like world, maybe it's a water world, maybe it's even a ammonia world. That's how you actually do. Find out which one it is specifically, because you cannot trust the navigation panel 100% all the time. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But let's have a look at this one. Now what this one was is high metal content world with metallic core, especially around areas of past volcanism. Alright, cool. So that one was not terraformable, but there have been a good number of terraformable worlds that we have found, either in or around this nebula. Now, terraformable worlds are what are going to be. They're going to have to be in what's known as a Goldilocks zone, and what that means is it is in the right distance away from the star that they are orbiting, so that it is not too hot or not too cold. It has to be roughly around Earth-like temperature in order to support life. Now, that's where you're going to be finding all the Earth-like worlds and all the terraformable worlds. They are going to be in this what's known as the Goldilocks zone. Now, I'm sure that most of you out there, being science buffs, will already know this, but I know that some of you won't. So. And again, this star looks like a class M red dwarf. So let's find out after we after we find out, we're going to go and have a look in the galaxy map and see what we can find in this, not the galaxy map, system map, and find out what we can find. Yeah, see, right again, 2 for 2. Oh, look at that. That's a star inside the nebula that has not been discovered before. Now, looking there, you can see why. Yeah, there it is, 41,000 light seconds away. So I can, from what I understand, some intrepid explorers decided, yeah, that's a little bit too far away for me, can't be bothered, I'll just jump to another system. Not for me, no, I am desperate to get my name on a star inside the nebula. So I made the 5 to 10 minute trip all the way over here just to scan this star. Because, you know, if I don't get my name on a star, and especially a star inside a nebula, my ego would never forgive me. But anyway, speaking about, just remembering about the being on stream, not exactly being on stream, but happening to meet up with Obsidian Ant on his stream. We actually met up in a system, and another commander joined up with us as well. So there ended up being 3 exploration asps exploring the same system, 4,500 light years out of Sol. It was quite bizarre. And if any of you follow on Facebook the Elite Dangerous Community or the Elite Dangerous Community Explorers groups, you may have seen these this planet before. I posted a picture on this one with his little brother. They are two orbiting ice worlds, and I decided, I'm going to name you Ted and Bill. Kind of apt, really. But yeah, now you can see it now, the absolute vivid colours. The browns, the reds, the maroons and the greens, and the almost slightly bluishy greens. It is absolutely amazing. I'm really curious to see what it's like inside one of the blue and or purple looking nebulas. Maybe even the Cat's Paw Nebula. Let's go have a quick look at them. Because there's the Cat's Paw Nebula, and there's NGC 6357. I mean, from last I saw, Commander Granite, also known as Obsidian Ant, was actually moving towards these nebulas. He's already left the lagoon. He's moving on this way. So if you're really into exploration, like I said, go and check his channel out, and also his Twitch channel. He's only just started streaming himself, so please do go and check him out. But yeah, no, I am really curious about these systems. Not the systems per se, but more the nebulas themselves. I mean, you saw the Cat's Paw Nebula. Look more like a hairball than a cat's paw to me. But this is the kind of nebula I'm really curious about. The one that's like really purple. I'd love to go and see what this looks like inside. I mean, I might try and jump over towards that nebula. Just to see if I can get there, have a quick look around before I have to start rushing back. But the thing is, every time I get to a nebula, I see so many more. And this one was such a long distance away. Now look at this one. This one just looks like a giant ball of space cotton candy. I'm not even going to attempt to actually say what its actual name is. But then there's another one, but that one looks really small. And I don't think there are actually any stars inside. I mean, there might be 1 or 2, but I don't know if you can actually get inside that nebula, because it's not actually possible to get inside every single nebula, because some of them don't actually have any stars inside them. But then here's another one. This one's more of like a purple and a pinky kind of colour. So let's have a look. Let's see if there's any stars inside this one. Yes, there is. So another time I may actually move over towards this one. Or I may just say, sod the entire community goal thing. I might just move over towards this one as well. But I know I can't keep you guys interested with exploration forever, so I'm going to have to get back and start doing some more pew pew shooty shooty goodness. I know some of you guys, and that's what you really want. So, what have we got here? There's got to be a reason I've got this one in the video. So what is it? Oh, it's one of the water worlds that I managed to find even. So I think that if I do remember right, this one is actually inside the Lagoon Nebula as well. This one probably was actually, I do believe this one was actually discovered previously, but I wanted to give it a scan anyway. Well, let's just get a nice little close-up look on it. You can see the nice little Arctic region at the top. And there's going to be the Arctic pole on the bottom as well, but these ones aren't as big as when on that last world that I was looking at. I think it was an Earth-like world with massive, massive Arctic regions. They covered about a quarter of the hemisphere. But yeah, nope, it's a nice water world, and it is terraformable as well. But anyway, I'm going to have to call this episode there. I'll leave you with my commander's log and pictures of the journey. Remember, commanders, until next time, keep flying and stay shiny. Ship's log. The biggest enemy is going space crazy through loneliness. The only thing that helps me maintain my slender grip on reality is the friendship I share with my collection of singing potatoes.